What's up, guys? Joey from HPTCG here, and I have a video talking about the aftermath of the ban list, and I will say right now that if this is officially for the United States, like the Western format, starting 9.1, so September 1st, if this is, we don't know for sure yet, I don't think it has been announced just yet, then this is very, very bad for the majority of One Piece players, and I will go ahead and tell you why. But to start out with, Law, Red Purple Law, and then Enies Lobby are banned. They are banned from the game, and that is it. Now, this takes place September 1st. We're not sure if it's for us or not. So, with that being said, let me show you guys exactly why I think this is really bad for us. And real quick also, I'm sorry, I'm edging you guys. I saw this in the Small Hat Crew video, and I completely agree with this. If you comment something and you have not heard my entire philosophy, like if you're not willing to hear me out, I'm not going to hear you out. So like, don't comment anything if you haven't watched the whole video, because I explain what's going on in the video. So just from now on, if anytime something like that happens, if you make a point that goes against something I already said in the video, I'm not responding to it. So these are all of the decks that Law brought down. So Red Purple Law was hurting these decks in some way, right? So obviously Red Green Law. Now we're not saying it's meta, but it won a regional, so it has to be some type of viable, right? It has to have some type of viability. So Law, Bonnie, Enel, Perona. Funny enough, like I think even Cross AI said this on Twitter, saying like if he can figure out the Perona of the Red Purple Law matchup, he'd win the entire regional. I believe it, bro. I mean, but now Red Purple Law is banned. Obviously, these decks are no longer hurt by it. So Luffy, I would say if they're really smart and they play a defensive style of the deck, then Red Purple Law does kind of go pretty well into Black Yellow Luffy, and then Reiju, obviously because the Dawn Mine is with Law. And then Gecko Moria because they no longer play Lucci, so it's harder for them to get the removal that they need. So these are all the decks that were hurt by Law. These are all the decks that were hurt by Lucci, right? So Boa Hancock, Blue Doflamingo, Bonnie, and then obviously Law again, right? Now some people might say, okay, you know, Enel was also hurt by Lucci. I'm willing to hear you guys out, even though I do think Enel is not as unfavored as you guys might think. So for just this scenario right here, we'll say that Enel was also hurt by Lucci as well. So these are the leaders of all of this after the ban list. These are the leaders that are still relevant in a tournament. So you have still Black Yellow Luffy, Doflamingo, Lucci, Reiju, Perona, Enel, and Bonnie. So there are a total of 7 leaders. I know we're going to talk about Nami, guys. Please do not. This is exactly where we're going. So there are 7 leaders that are still relevant, not including Nami. Of those 7 leaders, the leaders that can consistently beat Nami are Reiju and Doflamingo, and it's only because they have access to Gion. It is the only deck that has access to Gion. But of these meta-relevant leaders, here are the ones that can consistently beat Lucci. It's Reiju and Luffy. Now, obviously Reiju, because they're very fast now with the Porsche into the Ichiji, and without the stage, it makes it a little bit harder to deal with them on curve. But even I would go as far as say Reiju isn't even like heavily, favored into the matchup. I think they're probably slightly favored now into the matchup, but it's not like, it's not a crazy amount. And then obviously Black Yellow Luffy because he can loop Sabo and Gecko. So that's a huge problem because the leaders that can consistently beat Lucci are these 2 right here, and only one of those can consistently beat Nami. So if you run into a Nami player for the majority of the decks, other than these 2 right here that have access to Gion, a card that literally no other deck has access to except for a blue deck, then you are very likely to lose the game. Let's check out the scenarios why these decks are like losing to Nami. Lucci's too slow. Perona's probably too slow. Enel is definitely too slow. Bonnie, the only way you can beat it is if you get like 2 9-cost Zoros, which is still kind of slow because you have to wait till you have to wait 2 9 turns and the card isn't searchable. Even if you go 16 3 times, like you're still probably not going to get there. So yeah, all of them are way too slow. They're way too slow. And the ones that are able to actually beat Nami cannot beat Lucci. So you're in a dice roll meta once again, where it's like, damn, if I play any of these decks and I run into Nami, then I lose. And then if I play any of these decks that beat Nami and run into Lucci, then I lose. It's so shitty, guys. It's so shitty. This is awful. This is absolutely abysmal, and I am shocked that they didn't realize this with Nami being has already won 2 treasure cups essentially, or a treasure cup and then the regional now in Pasadena. So this is a huge issue. And it's not because I hate Nami, because there's no surprise on that. Everyone knows I hate Nami. But it's the fact that the majority of the player base does not like playing against it or playing it. So like if you do not want to have a meta that people don't want to play. Like people will quit the game. Because if you play against every time I play against Nami, I know exactly how to play. So don't be like, oh, you got to figure out how to play against Nami, guys. It's literally just 9 at life the whole game, and then there's like some very small exceptions. You know, if they're running out of Dawn, you do certain shit different, but it's basically just 9 at life the whole game, right? I'm on my phone the entire time I'm playing against Nami because there's no interaction. It's not like I'm like what are they gonna do? Like they're literally just gonna counter, bro. Like it's not like a hard thing. So if I'm on my phone and I'm like yawning the entire time playing against Nami, what do you guys think the majority of the player base is also going to do? Because the majority of the player base also thinks the way that I think regarding Nami, right? They think it's boring. They think it's lame. I've talked to hundreds of new players throughout my time making videos as a YouTuber, and all of them are like, bro, like how do people like Nami? It's so boring. And it's just the truth. I'm gonna come back to this right here. It's just the truth, guys. This is the issue. The problem is none of the decks that you can play can beat Nami except for 2 of them, and those 2, both of them probably can't beat Lucci, and one of them maybe can beat Lucci consistently, but still it's not very likely. It's just a massive problem, and if this is going to be in effect for us in the West, then we are going to look at a very sharp decline of professional play, and I don't think there are going to be a lot of people going to Nats. I personally, if this is the meta, will not be going to Nats because there's no reason to. If I play any deck that is a little bit slower, I'm going to lose to not only do I hate playing Nami already, but if I go into a tournament and there's going to be a surplus of Nami players because it's actually good now, that's an issue, bro. Like I'm not going to Nats. I'm probably not going to play in any treasure cups because there's just no reason to, because I'm going to get, griefed out of the game like by them milling out their deck with Kayas and shit. So yeah, let me know if you guys think the same way as I do. I'm pretty sure most people think that way. Of course, if you guys want to hear my thoughts on it, just go to my Discord. We'll talk and do stuff like that. But yeah, let me know if I'm missing any leaders or anything. But there's almost no leader right now that can beat Nami, which is why it's relevant, except for, what is it called? Blue decks, and then blue decks just auto lose to Lucci. Now, of course, with red purple all being dead, there's like certain decks that can survive, like maybe like Zoro or something like that can be better, but like even then Zoro isn't that great into Nami, I don't think. I mean, it's probably decent. Well, I'm not sure. I haven't tested that. I don't play Zoro, I don't play Nami, so I'm not really sure. But yeah, guys, much love to you guys. Smash the like button, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.